All right, everyone. Off the Rails episode number 13 or 14.
13. Oh, unlucky 13. Oh,
13.
God.
As you can see, we're all kind of laughing already for this episode. I expect it to be a comedy episode, if
Oh
nothing
man.
else, and a lot of anticipation across the gym on when they found out who this next guest was going to be. Making a rare appearance after 5:30 a.m. So, Cam, I will let you take over.
All right. Well, probably don't need an introduction, but Mr. Kevin Holland here, hanging out with us today. Yeah, we had to give you a chance to come on here and defend yourself. I feel like everyone that's come in here has had something to say about Kevin. But we love you. And,
Hopefully nothing but good things, right?
yeah, it's always
Only
good things.
positive.
I think it's I'd rather be more known than hidden in the corner. And I would say I think everyone, I mean, most people got to at least know who you are by this point, I would say. So
I don't
Um,
try to make myself well known. It just sort of happens.
you don't try?
I
Is that just a northern thing? Like just it just comes out, it just happens.
I tell people this and no one truly believes me, but I'm an introvert. I really don't like big groups, big crowds, interacting with strangers. But being that I'm also in sales and I got older, the whole point is to put yourself in awkward situations. And it's like, when new people come here, it's like, all right, how would I feel if I was new? It's nice if someone introduced myself
Yeah.
and be polite. So I try to do it, even though internally I'm like, I just want to give them the cold shoulder. I want to
Yeah.
ignore them and mind my own business.
I will say you do a very good job of when new people are if we're doing a foundations class or it's someone's first time, you definitely go over, you say hi at some point. Sometimes we never know what's going to come out, but you at least introduce yourself. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, Kevin, that was great. Then sometimes I'm like, Kevin, why did you say like not that? Like, but it's okay because you know what? At least someone talked to him, and that's better than not being talked to. But no, I think although we never know what's going to come out of your mouth, it's always fun, and it is always in good intent, I believe.
That's a
There's
nice
maybe
polished
some
version of
behind the scenes stuff, but in public, I do think that you're always you chat a little bit, and it makes it fun. It makes good energy for events and things. So
got to keep people on their toes, right?
if people ask me, yeah, I would not have said you're an introvert. I wouldn't have labeled you as that. So interesting.
Smoke and mirrors, right, baby?
Yeah, apparently. So you did CrossFit before you came here at some point, right?
I started. I've been doing CrossFit for almost 6 years because I started in 2020 of September at CrossFit Taylors when I moved here from New Jersey, and did it the year before when I was in New Jersey.
Okay, so you did start in New Jersey. What was that like?
It was a little weird because it was initially fine, and then COVID happened, and it was like initially they were like only like 10 people in the place, and you had to keep 6 feet of distance, and then we were doing it outside and like the
So
wind.
you started when that happened?
I
Or you
started just before,
Okay.
and then like while I was in New Jersey, we had COVID, and it was a nightmare. And I was like, "Honey, we got to get the heck
Yeah.
out of this place."
So that's why you moved down to South Carolina?
There's numerous reasons why we moved out of to South Carolina from New Jersey.
Okay. Do you want to go into those or no?
I am open to go into anything possible.
Was it work related, or was it just
my job was remote, so I could live wherever. New Jersey is great. I tell people the one thing I really don't like about South Carolina is the food. New Jersey has Italian, Chinese, Greek. It has like every food, and the food's great. While I think South Carolina's food is pretty bland, and I've gotten a lot of backlash from that because most of y'all have never left really South Carolina.
That's kind of true. I do have a lot of friends that have never left South Carolina.
The fried food and barbecue is good, but I mean, if you ever wanted like real good pizza or Italian or Chinese or a really good steakhouse, I mean, like New York, Chicago, Miami, Vegas all have great food, and Greenville, South Carolina is very bland to me. So
okay, well, that's fair. So anyway, did you move down here for the food?
yes. No, but like the cost of living in New Jersey is very expensive. I hate the weather. I really don't like cold weather, and I bitch and complain when it gets to like 30 degrees for like that month and a half here. And then everyone in New Jersey is pretty snobbish and a little bit of a jerk, which is I always joke because I sort of am snobbish and a little bit of a jerk, but
You're not as bad as those people.
y'all have been wearing off on me. I start waving to
He
strangers
said y'all.
and
That's a
and,
Southern
and
thing.
waving to people and trying to smile, even though I know I'm a bitter, grouchy old man.
Yeah, you're
inside.
not that bitter. Okay, so that's why you moved down here. Cool. Yeah, I just knew you had done CrossFit before you came here. Because I know one time you were like, yeah, I enjoy being here because you always push us to be better or whatever. And I don't know if you were getting that at the other gym or not, or if you were in there long enough to even have kind of that experience. So how did you come about CrossFit Taylors?
Honestly, I just looked for the closest gym from where I
Yeah.
was, and
Okay.
you guys were about a few miles from where I used to live in Taylors. So I just showed up one day, and you're like, "Oh, sign the waiver." And I
Let's
think
do
I
it.
think we still had to sign like it was like you only could have like 10 people in the gym because it was still like pre-COVID or
Okay. All right. So you started like right around the time that we were like kind of coming back to full classes. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I think we were talking to Colin about that. I couldn't really remember what the progression was back like out of COVID, but I do think there was like a limit at one point.
Yeah, you had like a sign up sheet for like, I don't know, 10 people per class or something
Okay.
like that, but didn't really have that issue at 5:30 with
Yeah.
people fighting for spots. I think it was more in the afternoon, so.
Yeah, fair. Fair. Okay, so that topic, why 5:30 a.m.? Like why is Kevin Holland a 5:30 a.m.er?
I just want to get it over with
Yeah.
so I can be a sack of potatoes in the afternoon.
Yeah. So it like did you always wake up early or did like you were just like, okay, now I'm gonna start waking up early so I can get this done. So then like
So I used to have to commute into Manhattan, and I lived in New Jersey, and it could take 1 to 2 to 3 hours to sometimes get in, and it could take the same amount of time to get back. So usually I was pretty tired or
yeah.
not really want. So I always used to go to the gym at early in the morning, usually 5:30, and then go home, shower, and then head on the road. And that was a habit of getting up early because I also used to work at golf courses and have to open up at the golf course at 4:30 in the morning. So like early has always been in my repertoire, and my wife wanted me to do something after work because again I said I was a lazy sack of potatoes.
Yeah.
Trying to monitor my mouth so I don't say anything vulgar. And she's like, "You need to pick up a extra curricular activity after work."
Yeah.
And she forced me to go to CrossFit, which we had some fights of saying I should be able to do whatever I want to do after work. I'm paying the bills, and that didn't go over well.
Yeah.
Joined CrossFit, and now the funny thing is, I do the
Join.
gym and CrossFit at early in the morning, and I'm a lazy sack of potatoes in the afternoon still.
You just like to you work all day, so you like to relax afterwards. That's
If,
fair.
if you consider what I do working, then yes.
I mean, you do pay the bills, so I guess that's work. I mean,
Well, I pay the bills, but my wife wears the pants in the
that's
relationship.
fair.
So
That's fine. That happens a lot. So you are the only person I'm pretty sure at this facility and maybe that I've ever known that does CrossFit and then also goes to another gym afterwards. Why?
well,
Tell us about
the
it.
goal is to look like Rich Kinky, and clearly you can see I'm built and chiseled out of stone. So the main goal is just trying to look as good as possible, and it's not working. So
Have you ever tried doing less?
no,
Do you think all the coaches that have told you that like that's probably not a good thing that you should listen to them and maybe that would help? No.
I don't think anyone's ever told me not to. The whole point is to push
I've
yourself.
had this conversation a couple times of like, you don't need to go do that, right?
You
But
know,
it's like, is it just like you feel like you have to go do like some like bro lifts, some like what do you do when you go to the other gym?
so I mainly focus on specific muscle groups. So it's like I have a routine. It's like one day is chest, one day is back, one day is buys and tries, shoulders, back. So it's like I know during CrossFit, it's like usually we're doing legs or shoulders. Nothing. We start doing more bench pressing and stuff, but like it's not like I'm lifting super heavy. It's more of just like maintenance of just trying to maintain and burn an extra few calories, I guess, as I go on the treadmill. But
Yeah.
it's just I think a force of habit of.
Well, let's have a live conversation about this
Oh,
because
okay.
um there's a lot to break down here. Do you if you don't eat enough for that, you come in here and you do CrossFit and then you go and do that, do you think your body is recovering well
I
to be
eat.
able to do both of those every single day?
I eat plenty.
Okay.
I eat
Do you
plenty.
eat plenty of the right foods?
I actually think I do. I could tell you what I eat because I eat the same thing basically every day. Me and Karen were
Cereal.
having a for a while of trying to lose weight, and we were texting each other what we were eating every day. And she sounded like my wife of I don't see any vegetables
Yeah,
in that.
that
So
that'd be a problem.
for breakfast, I eat 4 eggs with 2 pieces of whole grain toast, lots of butter. You know, I'm all about the butter. Um, and then 2 scoops of my whey protein shake.
Okay.
I'm very high protein. For lunch, I have 2 or 4 big tablespoons of Greek Oikos yogurt, high in protein, with
4 tablespoons.
yeah, 4 regular spoons
Hmm.
slopped in with 1 scoop of granola,
Okay.
Kind chocolate granola,
Yeah.
with a Quest protein bar.
Okay.
And then for dinner, it's either a steak or chicken thighs.
Mm-hmm.
And I try not to snack, but you know, I'm a little bit slobbish, as I said. So it's almonds and or popcorn.
Based off of what you just told me, you're not eating enough.
Well, there's
Not even close.
based off my
Not
body,
even close.
based off my body fat percentage, it would say differently.
Yeah, because you're not eating enough.
Shouldn't I
You-
be looking like Rich Kiki then?
No, Rich eats fast food and stuff like that. Everyone's body is different, Kevin. And doing more and not eating enough is not helping, obviously, because like you still have these goals and yet you haven't changed anything. So
Well-
I would challenge you. A, we'll have some nutrition stuff coming up that we're gonna offer here soon. So we'll work on that if you're willing. But B, most people do one or the other, right? Some people go from like the we'll call it the normal gym, chest day, back day, leg day, isolated. Like I'm going to do these machines. Then the next day I'm going to come in, I'm going to do these machines to CrossFit or vice versa. You're trying to do both and you're using your muscles a lot, whether it's with heavy weight or not. Like if you come in here and do a workout with a bunch of pull-ups and whatnot, and then you go and do more arm stuff, like you're over fatiguing those muscles.
That's why my shoulders and elbows and everything aches every day. Maybe.
probably. I mean, it probably wouldn't hurt to back off a little bit.
Everything hurts, guys.
Like-
I mean, literally, it freaking hurts.
Put it this way: when we program for people that come here. We don't program for people that come here and then go and do something else. Like we are trying to make sure that we're using the muscle groups appropriately for the week. And if you're adding on to that, you probably are adding some extra stuff that like maybe you need to do different recovery things for.
Well, I was
if
going
we're
to say
do that.
something, but
Yeah,
you know,
no, go for it. Say it.
pussies. People need to push themselves until they drop dead. That's what I say. Push yourself until you can't handle it.
I don't think that's how that works.
Oh no, okay.
No. That's just what we yell at you every morning because you don't go hard enough because you're planning on going to the gym again afterward.
Exactly.
Imagine if you walked in the door and you're like, man, for this 1 hour, I'm going to go as hard as possible because I trust these people to coach me and program appropriately. And then I'm going to go home after this and I'm going to start eating something for breakfast and start my recovery process. And then if I eat enough, my body will start burning fat and then I'll get everything I need out of 1 hour a day.
That sounds miserable.
Yeah.
To push
So do
myself
you actually-
100%.
But you do like to push yourself. So we had this conversation with Karen. You at house party went
Which
the
we
hardest,
lost. Which we lost.
hardest I've ever seen Kevin Holland go on some cleans and burpees over the bar.
Yeah, for
that-
competition, I want to win.
Okay, but if you don't train all year, so let's say house parties coming back,
I come every day.
but you don't go hard, Kevin.
Yeah, I got to keep
Man,
it up
we
in
should
the
have got
fuel.
Chris Dutton here. We could have had quite a conversation. Be honest. When you come in here in the morning, scale of 1 to 10, your effort
It's like a 6.
Every
I gotta,
day.
I got to keep stuff in the fuel.
every day. is a
Most,
6.
I'd say almost every day it's a 6. While people are on the floor, I can still walk around and put the weights away as most people are gasping for air.
Why?
Because it's 5:30 in the morning. I'm tired and I'm cranky and I'm grumpy and I'm lazy.
There's the part. There's a good for. That's what
That's
you're
not
looking
news. We all know I'm a
Okay,
lazy piece
But
of.
like, if you came in here and you were like, you know what, I'm gonna try to give it a 7. I'm gonna try to give it an 8 today. Twice a week. Do you think that would make a difference?
It all depends also what the workout is.
Okay.
Like when we do Murph prep with my short, stubby little arms, I'm very good at the push-ups and decent at the pull-ups and pretty lazy with the air squats. I've gotten better. I usually push myself because again, it's one of the workouts I know I can compete against most people of being on top of the leaderboard. But the majority of like the strength stuff, I know I can't compete with
So you
people.
just give up.
It's not that I give up. Like I said, everything hurts. My whole body hurts. So it's like
Yeah, we talked about that.
I don't want to.
I know how to fix it. You're just not willing to do it.
Hey man, we can talk after this, and see if I'm willing to make some changes. As like
Hopefully.
again, my dream is to look like Rich Kinky. I used to in my 20s, but I'm almost 40 now, so I'm
We'll get Rich. Maybe you should just live with Rich for a week. I think he would enjoy that.
the guy like works like 14-hour days and
Yeah.
eats like rice at like 9 p.m. and
I've
then
seen him eat cookout. I've seen that man eat all kinds of stuff.
he runs like 5 miles a day.
Yeah.
It's like I don't think I could keep up with that guy.
If you tried harder,
I'm an old man.
don't be what you said earlier.
I'm an old man. I'm almost 40.
But seriously, if you just tried a little harder, do you think it would make a difference?
Oh, jeez. You sound like my wife in every aspect of my life. Try a little harder. Do a little more. Be better. I believe in you.
But if what you've been doing hasn't gotten you where you want to be,
I go through ups and down phases, okay?
you can't. I think I say this a lot too to a lot of people. Like, if you only try hard on the things you're good at and you don't try hard on things you're bad at, are you ever going to get good at the things that you're bad at?
Well, I've been
No.
coming here for almost 5 years. I would think you said I've improved on some stuff.
We've gotten a little better. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Progress.
Yeah.
All I'm feeling is shame. I think you guys just brought me here to
I-
shame me.
No, I'm trying to have a conversation with you because you clearly have goals that you want, but you're not reaching them.
My
And
goals.
I'm trying to ask you what you think would help you get to those goals. And I don't think it's going to another gym and doing more isolated reps.
So what, should I do more cardio? I mean, like,
I just want you to try harder the 1 hour you're here.
it's 5:30 in the morning. As I always say, I'm just happy I showed up.
I'm happy you showed up too. Now I'm just asking for like that next step.
I don't know
Right.
if I'm mentally,
if- okay,
emotionally
okay.
prepared.
Let's go back. What if you do what your wife asks and you do something in the afternoon where you're more energized, you're more awake for the day? Do you think you could come in and give more effort?
I can probably talk a lot more at like 4:30 in the afternoon.
What if we tried that for a month?
Oh
What do you think?
Can I do 2-a-days? I'll do 2-a-days.
Why? We're going back to the too much thing.
Hey.
Why is 2 a days the
Push
answer?
yourself until you can't walk anymore. That's what I always grew up.
But you didn't even push yourself hard enough the first time. If you just push yourself hard enough the first time to where you couldn't
That
walk,
means
you
if-
wouldn't even have to come back a second time.
That means if I go twice a day, I'm doing what I would do in one full class of trying 100%.
No, that's not how that works. That's not it. That's not it. You can't go run a mile and then run another mile and be like, well, I'm going to average or do something to make my mile time faster. Like, that's not how that works.
I thought running more miles builds up that cardio.
Yeah, but what about your sprint speed and your, like, all
Hey.
your other systems?
When we had that sprint speed, I only lost to Ronnie.
Yeah,
by
you
like
are
half a
fast. I'll
second.
give you that. You are fast, but that's only when you try.
Exactly. You gotta keep people's expectations low. Keep them so low that when you surprise them, they're in shock.
Kevin.
That's my whole life.
We're gonna keep trying. We're gonna
Low
keep
bar for almost
Low bar.
everything and exceed those That's why I'm successful in work. I keep people
You-
expectations so low of me that when I exceed those expectations, they go, "Wow, we need to promote you."
And then they're like, "Oh, never mind. His low bar just we got to keep him down here."
That's pretty low.
Man, I
Well,
thought we had made more progress, but it doesn't sound like we have.
we'll try. We can come
We'll
up with a
have-
game plan.
Yeah. No, like right now.
There's a
would
lot of
you
pressure.
be willing to try a month in the afternoon?
In the summertime when it's like 90 degrees
You just
in
said
here?
you hated the cold.
I don't like the heat either. Why do you think I don't live in Florida?
Oh yeah, you could have moved to Florida. That's right.
I could have moved anywhere, and
You
I
should've.
chose to be here with you.
You did.
You should feel
You did.
blessed.
I
feel blessed to be with you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Why?
Honestly,
Yeah,
I
honestly.
think it's very welcoming. You know, you make it very warm to come in, and everyone really wants to help each other. As I stated, I'm a little bit of snob and a little bit of a prick at times, and it makes me want to be kinder, warmer, gentler to people because again, it's like you see how everyone treats each other. It's like I want to be that type of person to the community as well. So that is based off of how you basically built this gym. And, as I say, it's made me a better person because again, I want to see you be successful. I want to see this gym grow and be successful as I've seen it grow a lot over my past 5 years. And I tell people, it's like, I hope it continues to grow. I hope it gets so much bigger that you got to see if you can, get another bigger facility because,
Yeah.
you just have so many people. So if I can be a small little part in, making people feel welcomed, then, I feel blessed.
Well, thank you. Thank you. That truly does mean a lot. And I do, honestly,
That's from
we
the heart,
give you,
people. That's not any BS
we give
either.
you a lot of crap, but I really do truly feel like you do feel that way and that you do your part and you do help. And I do think being able to have the energy that you have and the banter back and forth with people at 5:30 a.m. or when you do see people, like that's the kind of energy people want around here, right? It's not always like smile away. Like if you're not giving each other a hard time with certain people, like then like that's the way certain people connect as well, right? So like can you have that ability to do that with a lot of people, which is cool. But you've also done your part too of you've hosted like post Murph, like a pool day. You honestly, you did a member hangout one time at your house, which I think overwhelmed you a little bit. And then you host some poker nights sometimes too with the guys group that does poker. So like those are things that again, like we didn't ask you to do, you just offered. So it's like you are obviously like what you just said, you do want that and you do offer to like host things and be part of that as well. Even though you say you're an introvert, like you do invite people to your house, which is the most private place for most people. Like, so it's nice that you're willing to do those things.
Well, I need to show my wife that I actually have friends
Yeah.
every once in a while because she's the socialite and I basically stay at home. So every now and then I have to show her that
But here these
people do know me. I mean, I had to pay them with food and booze or other things to get them over, but I at least know some people
Yeah.
outside of.
You do. You do. And part of that would be the fantasy football league that you've joined. The CrossFit Taylors Fantasy Football League. Nate wanted to hear about this. Honestly, I didn't know what I was getting into. I was just like, sure, that sounds like something that we could do to like build some community. And boy, are some of y'all take this pretty serious. Did you win the first year?
I did win the first year. I think Colin, I want to bring that. Colin took last the first year.
Okay.
But we didn't have a shame. There was no punishment in the first year. Colin dodged a bullet.
Did we not?
Cam lost last season, and we're trying to figure out what the punishment and the date's going to be. So
I think the date is the draft for this year. And I thought the punishment was some form of a beer mile, but with like different things.
I thought we all had different. I wanted you to wear like a Borat Speedo and have to run and drink and be mocked and abused verbally. But I don't know if that was approved or not. So
we'll have to talk to the commissioner.
we have to talk to Commissioner Ronnie. But yeah, it's all about. I think the main point is just to banter and have fun with people.
Yeah. Which brought a big rivalry out that we didn't really know. Which I mean, now you're saying you're an introvert. Another introvert. Well, I think he's an introvert. We'd have to have him on here. Phil. I mean, he talks to people, but not like a crazy amount. But man, when we got into emails and text message groups, like y'all back and forth it's the highlight of the season.
Oh,
like that's something to just. I wish we should have printed some stuff out so we could have talked about it.
I have a job, and I don't think some of that needs to go public. And I will say, I do have to censor myself on that because I would take it probably to another level or two.
Yeah.
And I don't want to ruffle people's feathers because my sense of humor is not where most people's sense of humor is. I like to.
Most people are here, and you're like,
yeah, it's probably at the extreme. So I have to like sometimes type stuff out, reread it in my head, and go, "Oh, that's probably a little too much," and then dial it down and back a few things.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see how this year goes. Let's see. We got some new people joining in. We've had to replace a couple people, so
they didn't
some
quit
more
because of me. They didn't
more
quit because
5:30 a.m.ers. We got John Darling joining.
probably
Jacob
the
Booth.
nicest person one
know,
of the nicest people I've ever met.
He is. That is 100% true. But I feel like there's gonna be some good banter this year between him and you.
Well, John says he doesn't pay too much attention to NFL. He just
Yeah, but that
likes
doesn't mean
playing
I
fantasy.
feel like he's pretty good at talking trash though. I feel like he's gonna be. I think he's gonna get under your, especially since he comes in the morning to the class and like I can see a lot happening here.
Some friendships might be broken. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's all good. Yeah, I think it'll be good. What's your NFL like what you are good at fantasy football. I'm not gonna say you're the best. You did win one year.
Should have won last year.
But,
Lost in the championship.
Like,
Almost
is
went
that
back to back.
is that like
baby.
your favorite sport? Like you just have always grown up like watching being like up in New Jersey or something, or like you just picked it up one year and
So y'all are obsessed with college football. I could give two S's about college football. Clemson, USC. I don't care about that stuff. Growing up in New Jersey, college football is not that popular.
yeah,
I
I think it's
mean,
more of a southern.
We
thing.
had Rutgers.
Yeah.
Rutgers was the big school in New Jersey, and I just never cared. It was always the Giants, Jets, or
Yeah.
Eagles, and so I always grew up just watching professional football. And then in college is when I joined my first fantasy football season, and so I've been doing fantasy for over 20 years,
Mm.
and it's just a good way to stay in touch with people that moved away or doing
Yeah.
other things. You get on group chats and talk trash and
Yeah.
make it a little interesting with money, and that's what I enjoy about here. It's like you sort of have a group of guys that might go to different classes you don't see and speak to, and you're sort of forced to sometimes meet up for certain things, and you just learn about people, and
Yeah.
I think it's just fun to talk trash. I mean,
Yeah.
who cares about
It's fair.
at the end of the game of winning? It's like I want to win and make you feel embarrassed and emasculated.
That's the goal.
That is the
That's
goal.
Yeah, it's like what we do to poker. No, I mean it is a big part of it. It's just the camaraderie and the trash talking and the having fun with it, for sure. Which I didn't really know or expect when I started it. Like I was saying, I think a southern thing is college football, and northern thing is more NFL. But then like obviously there's people in the South that I think NFL. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting more into it, but I feel like it's becoming more of a thing because of fantasy football leagues and things like that. But yeah, like just the fun of it. Like the first year, I had no idea what I was doing, but I was like, this is still kind of fun. And the second year, I was like, oh, okay, like I know what to look for now, kind of, and like also have fun with it. So we'll see what this year brings. But
Yeah, Robbie's a big degenerate with not only playing
He's gonna
fantasy,
stick
but
with
then
his-
he's like, oh, I got a 3-game parlay on the Falcons and the Giants.
We're gonna have to get Robbie in here to defend himself next. Yeah, he does. Degenerate's a decent word. We could use that.
I don't want to get you banned for YouTube, so
No, it's fine. We'll figure it out. So let's try to take it back to CrossFit.
it is all about
It
CrossFit,
is-
right?
I mean, not all. Like, I mean, this is about everything. This is about you. This is you and us and you. What goals do you have with CrossFit? Just looking good. That's it.
It's really looking good in case my wife ever leaves me or drops dead. That I can pick up a hottie.
Is that what you're worried about?
It's basically it, man. I'm pretty vain. As I tell people, I take drugs to keep my hair. I'd be bald or semi-bald. I'm so vain. I, got to keep whatever I got. Got to make sure my clothes fit semi-decently. I'm doing whatever I can
What?
do to keep myself. I was waiting for someone to put some makeup on me, so I come in looking all pretty.
Oh, you
but,
wanted it like a production show here?
Hey, that's what I
Is that
expect.
we look that good when have you watched this before?
I've watched I watched from Ronnie here on out.
Okay.
So I didn't watch the first couple. I didn't even know what trolley train was, even though I saw it on the board
Mhm.
every morning for a month or two.
Oh, the Get Railed competition.
I don't know. You had trolley train, and I was like, I don't know what that is. I don't really pay
I don't
attention.
pay attention to things around here. I just show up, talk trash, kind of do the workout, leave early when I want,
This sounds about right.
and then yeah.
I felt
do
I was
the-
being called out when you were talking to one of the guests on how people you don't like members that come and sort of complain and don't follow all the steps and procedures.
I don't know if that's what I said, but I'm glad you called yourself out on that.
I like to. I'm very, as I said, narcissistic, and always put myself in everyone's.
Like people that like listen and kind of like are coachable, we would say. But there are times where like I would say in the morning, I'm like, oh, Kevin's sitting over there on the bench. Clearly, he's ready to go, and then we'll start the clock, and you're not ready to go. But really, the finishers will say that could make Kevin a little bit better. He's like, nah, I gotta go. to this other gym where I have more to do because that's more important.
I got to get out of here at 6:30, man.
So you go from here from 5:30 to 6:30. Sorry, we're gonna talk about this again. You clock in to work at 8.
8,
So what do you go to the other gym for an hour?
for about an hour, yeah. I start off by walking on the treadmill for 50 calories. Then I
Why?
get my cardio in.
Because you didn't do that here.
Well, sometimes even if we did a boatload of cardio, I still do 50 cal walk,
Nice, good walk.
lift, and then before I leave, I do another 50 cal walk, and then head home and eat breakfast and
Clock in.
clock in.
Interesting. That's a routine right there. Nate, does that sound like a good lifting routine to you?
Well, my question is, do you eat anything before you come here?
No, other than a pre-workout. So I fast until basically like 8 a.m. And then I eat my 4 eggs.
What's your pre-workout?
It's C4. I've been taking that for years.
So it's not a fast.
Oh, come on. It's basically a fast. I take 1 scoop of C4 at 5 a.m.
Yeah, but that breaks the fast.
Oh, my goodness.
There is scientific stuff to this that you can't just be like, well, I kind of do it, like, and then call it a fast. That's not a fast. Water, black coffee.
I need a little pep in my. I don't drink
Black
coffee. I don't drink coffee.
I mean, I'm just trying to help you here.
I drink these bad boys. Monster Energy Zero. Go
There's
out and
our-
buy a case from
Trolley
Costco.
train sponsor right there. Oh gosh, how much caffeine do you have in a day?
I drink. Shh, don't tell my wife. I drink.
Guys, I think
I
she's
drink
gonna
at
listen
least.
to this.
Oh, I have to show the podcast, making sure, she's gonna come back home and
Uh-huh.
not leave me. So I drink 2 of these a day, on average. One
And your C4 in the
and
morning?
my C4 in the morning. That's it.
Do you drink more than that some days?
Every now and I had 3 today.
Because you had to have some.
Yeah, I had to come in. I had to,
Should go sit on the couch.
You guys wanted a little energy. You didn't want me like passed out, half falling asleep as it's almost my bedtime. So
Well, if you don't work that hard, then why are you so tired during the day?
mentally and emotionally, it's very draining to, to deal with my lifestyle.
Yeah, which is.
Not much. Not much is going on.
Do you have a desk at home that you work from?
Yeah,
Or do you,
I think you see my office.
Maybe I don't
I
know.
have like a work office.
Okay. Or you just like stay in the office, or do you kind of like mosey around the house?
I
Go back for the
I
call?
mosey around.
Okay.
Sometimes I take a nap.
Yeah. Only awake when you have important things to do.
Basically, which is not much.
Yeah.
So
So you do a little C4, you come in here, then you go to another gym, and that's what you do in the mornings.
that is what I think. That sounds
Do
fantastic.
you come in? I mean, I coach Monday, or at least once a week at 5:30 a.m. Do you come every day?
I think you guys can see on the Sugar Watt. I come up basically 4 days a week, 5 days a week.
4 days a week. Okay.
Actually,
And then do you come on Thursdays?
I come in on Thursdays and mainly stretch and talk.
So it's a social thing for you.
This is the only social aspect I get throughout the day, other than my wife.
Well, that's probably a good thing that we at least help you with that and get you talking to other people. Well, you work, so you have to talk to people on the phone, I'm assuming, at some point.
yeah, but I can't, open up, be the butterfly that I truly am.
Yeah, that's probably not going to go well for some work occasions.
I saw Ryan today. He said we should talk about politics, and no, I'm just kidding.
No.
I don't want to go down that road.
Don't want to go down that road. No.
He said that would be interesting.
Yeah, no.
I said if I definitely wanted to get kicked out of the gym, that would be an interesting
I don't
conversation.
think we could kick anyone out.
Oh, you can. You're the owner.
I mean, you're right. I could kick somebody out, but we try to stay neutral on most things.
I told my
because
wife,
that's
hey,
how you should run a business.
I told my wife
Faith.
there's other gyms down the road, so.
There are. I did see that you got a text that you should be good today and not to get kicked out of CrossFit Taylors. But yeah, I think we would delete this podcast before we just kicked you out if we had to, pending what came out of your mouth. But I've never been that upset by something you've said that I've been like, man, Kevin's really pushing the line. It's more just like, man, I can't believe Kevin said that. And it's to somebody that I feel like probably doesn't know him that well. And I really hope that they don't think this is like a me thing. So it's more like, yeah, I really hope that but usually I think at this point, most people are just kind of like, oh, that's just Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't do it to piss people off. It just
No, it just comes out.
it's just
But I do like, okay, let's talk about this. I love the 5:30 a.m. aspect. There's certain people, and Tina's one of them, that just gives it right back to you
yeah.
every morning. And I love how that relationship has grown because I used to be like, man, Tina probably hates this guy. But now she just like,
I mean, I still think basically everyone hates me.
I don't think anyone
I
hates
think
you.
people hate me.
You think so?
I do.
Why? Just because you talk too much?
I just am I'm a little different. I can't put my finger on it. It's
Tommy
just
said I should start the conversation today with, why are you so weird? And you should just tell us.
I don't know.
But you're not. You're not. You're just a northerner. You're just a northerner that likes to talk and call people out on their shit. That's really what
I
it
try to be
is.
blunt.
Yeah.
I don't like phony people.
That's
People
fair.
that'll go, bless
That's
your
all
heart,
right.
bless your heart, and then they go talk behind your back.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
just
what I
tell you
think.
straight to your face. That's fine. Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. But I will say you have a caring side because
I do care.
because
I do want people to like me. I want to be liked. Who
No,
doesn't want to be liked?
like-
Right, Nate? You and I are best friends.
Joe. God, we'll talk about that in a second. But like Joe comes in the morning, and you've
Oh,
like
old
built
man
a
Joe?
you've built a relationship with him, and I feel like that's like a very Kevin thing. Like he's to the like you're like willing to talk to him and like have a relationship with him, and he gives you shit too. Like there's definitely that back and forth. But I can tell every morning that I coach, so you make it a point to make sure that you talk to Joe.
It feels like everyone gives me shit, and I don't think I deserve it.
Really?
I think I'm nothing but the nicest guy.
You think so?
I think so, but I am a little delusional at times.
It's okay. It's probably just the way you say things sometimes. Maybe we should work on that next. Your delivery. How about that?
Did you speak to my wife before I came?
No,
in?
I didn't. I just was like, man, I really don't know how this is gonna go. And now that I'm just helping coach you through life too.
That would be fantastic.
And
'cause,
which coach for 5:30 a.m. do you think you piss off the most?
probably Nate, especially when he first started coaching 5:30. I would just talk his ear off about, oh, tell me about work. What about this stock? What do you do here? Like I would just talk about non-CrossFit stuff, and then I would just I felt like I probably annoyed him, but I just was interested in
Nate.
what he does.
Is that true?
I think you kind of get a bad rap. So I heard from other people just how you were, and maybe it kind of put a negative uh kind of thing in my mind, I guess. However, that's not the case. Like Cam and you've said, like you're probably the nicest person at 5:30. Like you talk to everybody. You're not shy, or whenever someone's new comes in, you're nice to them. You make sure they feel welcomed, which I think is hard to do sometimes at 5:30. Um, so maybe at first I was a little annoyed with you because yeah, you did talk my ear off at 5:30, which is not my
Not everyone's awake at that time.
not my ideal timing, but I do think like once you get to kind of know you a little bit better, people warm up and don't get as annoyed as maybe when they start.
I always tell people I'm like a fungus. Initially, you don't like me, and then I grow on you.
That's fair. That's fair. And I do think that that's kind of what I was saying earlier with like the new people is like, I do think our members, obviously they know who you are. They don't hate you. They like you. But sometimes when it's that new person, it's like, yes, you're trying to say something, but like, did you say the right thing? Or like, but there's never been a case that I'm like, oh, I got to go follow up with that person. I'm just kind of like, oh God, here comes Kevin. And I hope that he says something nice. But at least I know you're going to say something. And I think, sometimes it means well, no matter what, but like, I don't know. I feel like I can't remember one occasion. It was something like, oh, you're not really trying that hard. Come on, or something like that. And I was like, that's probably not what this person needs to hear on their first day. But then you did follow up later and you were like, yeah, I really hope to see you back in here. Or you're joining class soon or something like that. And then I was like, all right, cool. Like he followed back up on that. Like he didn't just leave it at like, this person's not even trying over here.
That's pretty PG.
Yeah. But I mean, it's to new people, so like we'll take it. PG's not bad, but I was gonna say that I think I've heard that sometimes you make, not from Chris, from other people, that I feel like you annoy Chris a good bit. You like to get under his skin sometimes.
I think the whole point of socializing with people is to get under their skin.
Yeah.
And
At 5:30 in the morning while they're working.
And when you get to start knowing people over the years and you learn about them, you find little buttons you can hit. And it's Chris is one I like to push a little bit. I push Tina, she pushes it back on me. You sort of know who you can mess around with, because some people it's like, I don't want to, hurt your feelings. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm just trying to have fun. So like Chris is one that, I I throw it at him and he can one punch me in a heartbeat if he wants to, and every now and then he does.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
uh,
He throws it back. He takes it well.
so it's
I
fun on
just
that aspect.
John Darley sometimes will just be like, yeah, I think Chris about killed Kevin yesterday. Like, he'll tell me some story, and I'm like, oh boy. Good, cool, man. Well, we're glad to have you around, and we'll keep you.
Thank you.
And I think that you should try the afternoon. Give him a little taste of Kevin.
I've done the
And-
12 o'clock a couple times.
Yeah, but okay, or noon or afternoon. I'll take either, and let's just see if we can get some consistent effort out of you. I think that's the biggest thing we're missing. Like Nate, would you agree that like when you watch Kevin work out, it just doesn't feel like he's really like for the results that he wants. I feel like we could find a way to try a little harder.
Yeah, especially with the finishers. Like we'll get something going, and then I see him walking out the door. So
Yeah,
we have peer pressured him a couple times here lately, though. So
that's hard to do. That's
maybe
impressive.
changing.
Yeah.
They're like Pilates workouts. It's like, I ain't got time for that.
Well, you think your 50 cal walk's gonna be better?
Yeah, I
Wha-
go at like a two speed at a 9 degree, walking, taking my time.
What gym do you go to?
I go to the most manly, masculine gym on the planet, Planet Fitness.
Are they open 24/7?
Not anymore since COVID. They got funky hours.
Do they open before 5:30 a.m.?
You want me to get up at like 4?
Sounds like
Jeez.
you do a great warm up, and then you can come here and actually work out.
That would be a good warm up. I need my beauty sleep. I go to bed at like 8:30. You want me to go to bed at 7:30?
So you get 8 hours of sleep a night.
I try. Sleep is very important, people. It's why I can put up some of the heaviest weight and have some of the best times.
It's
Because
the
I get
only thing that I'm gonna agree with that Kevin said today is that sleep is very important.
and I
people.
don't drink. Haven't drank in almost 2 years. Alcohol is very bad.
It's not the worst for you in moderation and at the right timing, but it is also not the best. So if you did cut it out, it would be good for you. What other tips you got? We can talk about this.
A lot of protein. I'm a vegetarian, so I only eat meat.
How much protein should you have
They
a
say
day?
about 1 gram per pound for body weight.
How much protein do you eat a day?
I don't know. I try to eat at least 160 to 170 grams. I probably fall short.
But you eat enough.
I think I eat enough. I eat over 2,500 calories.
Based off of what you told me earlier.
I've used some app that I think
Huh.
people told, and you enter all it in, and it tells you
Tells
how
you
many
what to do.
how many calories you had and how many calories you burned, estimated wise. And I average over 2,500 calories.
Interesting.
I'm still
We'll have to track that one day.
I'm still a little bit slavish.
We'll have to track that one day. We'll see. What other tips you got? What's your favorite movement?
Sitting on the bench, just sitting.
Yeah. And
Eh,
then bench pressing's your second favorite
No,
movement?
and watching people and telling them that they could do better, or lift harder, or
You
go
do like
fast.
to tell other people they could do more, but boy, you
course.
yourself
I
do
should
not.
become a coach. I was thinking I'll get registered to be a coach and coming in here and telling all you lazy pieces of garbage how pathetic you are and how I expect you to do better. That's
Everyone, please leave a comment if you want Kevin Holland to be a coach here at CrossFit Taylors. Yes or no?
not be coach here, but at least getting certified for level 1, and then
Yeah, CFL 1. If you get your CFL 1, we'll talk.
when's the next certification?
We're hosting one in a couple weeks, I think, sometime in July.
When's the sign
Late
up?
July.
Is it?
It's going. It's ready.
Oh, I guess I have to sign up.
Yeah.
I put my money where my mouth is.
All right.
If
you heard it here.
If Robbie Gillespie can show up once in a blue moon after a bender, I can do it.
There it is. That's what we needed. Hey, I am dead serious. If you sign up and you take the CFL 1, I will find a way to get you to coach
I may not
occasionally.
pass the test, but I will try.
Would you actually coach?
No, I'm terrible. I'd be horrible.
Why do you think you have to be good to coach?
Uh, I mean, as I said, my bar is pretty low, so I think you'd want to. This is a high
There's
class
only room
gym.
for improvement.
This is a high class gym. I mean, maybe at like a different gym.
What about like a good co-coach? You could do a good co-coach.
I mean, if Nate wants me in the background, basically telling people to pick it up, I could walk around and be like, "Go faster, lift heavier. You're pathetic. That's bad technique."
Is that what we do?
No, that you need some harshness in this gym. You're too soft on people.
Are we?
Yeah.
Man.
You got to give it to them. You got to make people feel pathetic about themselves so they push themselves even harder. I get pushed harder when Nate's like, "You make me sick, Kevin. You're pathetic." And I go, "I'm ashamed of myself. I need to improve." And then
I think I figured out what I need to do now. I haven't been doing that. I'm just going to start coming and whispering in your ear. Like, Kevin, you're being a little bitch right now.
that works for me.
And I need you to do more.
I mean, can't you tell on how I treat people? I want the
But then
same
you
thing
usually
back.
go, no, my knee's hurting this morning. I got to take it a little easier. I got to get ready.
And then-
And like 7 excuses come out.
And then you got to be like, "Stop being a little bitch." And then I'd be like, "You're right. You're right."
That's not okay. All right. I'm going to be like, remember on the podcast you said you'd say you're right? Because I feel like I try. I feel like I try.
No, you're too soft.
Oh, man. Here we go. Here we go. All right.
You know, you got to bring out the old belt like what my dad used to. I'm kidding. He never did that. But, you know, the
Maybe
old
he needed to.
the old belt. "Hey, Kevin, if you don't do this burpee complex in under 5 minutes."
I don't think that would work for you. You'd probably like it.
Oh, you know,
Which your wife probably does.
I wish, you know, handcuff me to the bed.
Oh my God. All right. We have gone too far.
PG-13, guys. I'll keep
Okay,
it PG.
Let's stay there. Let's stay there. All right. Well, I think what else you got? You want to add anything else on?
Well, as Cam says, you need to eat a balanced diet.
Yes. As
You know.
Cam says, as Kevin doesn't follow.
And as I say, show up every day.
Yeah.
Effort's a choice.
Effort is a choice, but you actually have to try when you're here too.
Hey, how many? I've been
You
coming here
are
for almost 5 years.
You are consistently here. You do show up. You're healthier than most people. You don't look terrible like you try to say you do all the time. There are pluses here, but we got to work on the ones. But you always want more, and you're in pain right now, and you want to lose some weight. And I'm just trying to help you out. So
Karen stopped shaming me on the text, and I started eating some
do
snacks.
we need Karen to bring? Are y'all still texting? Do we need? to
No,
bring it back?
no.
Okay.
Karen got
So you
tired
just
of me.
need a little
bothering her.
accountability partner, is what you're telling
I
me.
do need an accountability partner. I mean,
All right.
I have to. I go every year for skin check, and you got to get down in your skivvies, and you know, I want to look good because last time there was a cute little nurse that was there, and it's like, "Oh, geez, please don't look." So you know, gotta
Make sure you're ready.
make sure I'm presentable.
Okay.
So that's coming up in a couple months. So
Well, now's the time to start.
I mean, I haven't stopped. It's just
They always say 1% better, but I want you to try like one scale better. So like scale of 1 to 10, you're at a 6. Let's just can we get a 7 out of Kevin? Can we get a 7 out of Kevin? And like, you know what? An 8. I want an 8, but no other gym afterwards.
hey.
Could
For
you
your
give that, could you
horrible
give that
work,
up?
for the horrible workout you made us do on Tuesday, where it was a 40-minute workout, which
You probably only did 10 minutes of it.
I actually had to do extra bar muscle ups because Chris is coming off of pneumonia
Yeah.
and his stamina. He did great. Chris, you're amazing. I love you. But the last round we made it to, he was a little exhausted, and I had to do for every 2 bar muscle ups, he did 1 for the last round. So
Look at you.
I'm trying. And old Kevin would just say, "I'll just do chest to bars because bar muscle ups are hard."
Hard, yeah.
They are hard, but I did bar muscle ups.
Okay. Did you do the box jump overs?
Yeah, I thought I'd blow my knees out, honestly. I didn't like that.
Didn't like that, but you did it.
I did it, but I was worried I'd blow my knee out.
Okay.
I am.
So you are trying.
I am almost 40.
That's all right. It's okay. You can actually get healthier as you get older too. Sometimes.
It's not gonna happen.
Well, yeah. If you stop doing extra stuff, it might.
It's not gonna happen. I just wanna, like I said, God bless my wife. If she ever leaves me, which is probably a higher probability than her dropping dead, that you know I am semi-presentable. That someone would be willing to talk to me.
We'll try. We'll try our hardest.
Thank you.
I
That's
think
all I
you,
asked
you
for.
look you look all right.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Like I said, if there was some makeup here, I'd look semi-presentable.
Yeah,
The old bags under the eyes doesn't really help.
doesn't help a lot. Well, guys, I'm gonna let Nate shut it down. But if you ever were curious who Kevin Holland is, hopefully now you've gotten a little bit of a better idea, and we'll do it again. Except I think we need to get Chris in here and Ryan because he now coaches 5:30, and we could just have like a full, like a Kevin Holland. What
We
is
don't-
it?
we
What's
don't-
it called? Where you get people to get like
Like an AA meeting.
yeah, but like God, I lost the word. But yeah, just like hey, this is we can get
We
more,
can have a-
we can get more out of you.
It can be a Festivus, and it's like, I got a lot of problems with you people.
Yeah.
And
We'll let you
you all
tell
can
us-
give your it's the air of grievances, and you can air your grievances.
Yeah, we'll
to
let
me.
you tell us what you think we need to do better, and we'll tell you what you need.
You know what? I think y'all are all doing amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
I may say things to complain. I'm a big complainer. If you may not have picked that up, but
Mhm.
it comes from a good place of I just complain.
Like if it wasn't
take it
going, if
personal.
it wasn't going well, you wouldn't complain.
I'd complain no matter what. So
All right.
don't
So we
take it
can't
personal.
actually use that as like a test. We just Kevin just is.
I was telling Sabri before I came in on how I'm very like my mom who complains about anything and everything. Everything can be amazing, and I'll find something to complain about. So
Perfect. That's exactly how you should live your life.
that's what I say. Let people know. Air those grievances out.
Yeah. What if there aren't any?
I'll find some. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Good. All right. We'll call it there. Thank you.